right, shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Happy Sabbath, new moon to the 12 tribes of Israel. I'm Brother Raphael, to my right.
Brother Benaniah.
Tonight's topic is called Judah, thy brethren shall praise. Judah, thy brethren shall praise. You know what's beautiful, y'all? It's the fact that the so-called blacks and the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans, according to our fathers, we are the 12 tribes of Israel. We are the people of the book. We are the people the Most High God loves. We are the children of the slaves. You know what's beautiful about this, y'all, is the fact that our people are starting to wake up. You're starting to find out all over the world it's being global. Different other camps are pushing globally. You know, I know we're trying to push as much as we can as our duty to wake up our people, because our people are lost. Our people are lost in the sauce without understanding, and that's why we're in chaos today. That's why it's very imperative, very important for us to come back to who we are. It's very important. See, the thing about it, y'all, is to know who you are is only half the battle. Okay? It's basically, when you think about it, you look at it from this perspective, it holds value. And that's why our people need to understand it's very important, but that's not always the case. It's always, that's only half the battle. So, some of y'all may be new. We just can't say we have Christ and no loss and no Christ. Have to be come together. Give me the book of Isaiah, chapter 80, verse 20, to give me the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8, brother. Go ahead.
Shalom, happy Sabbath. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. To the law.
To the law. So the whole Bible is the law. We have the 1611 King James Version Bible, but the Apocrypha, one of the most accurate Bibles. We have to prove that's the whole book of the law. How do we prove that? Give me Joshua chapter 1, verse 8, brother. Go ahead.
Joshua chapter 1, verse 8.
Go ahead.
This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
Go ahead.
But thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous.
Go ahead, brother.
Then thou shalt have good success.
Because true prosperity is having an opportunity as a repentant Israelite to get the kingdom, and also to be able to obtain understanding of who you are too. Because you know something? Prosperity isn't always about monetary gain or materialism. It is about being in your right mind. Okay, being in your right mind to get the kingdom. Now go back to the book of Isaiah and chapter 8 and verse 20 to give me the book of Revelation chapter 19 verse 10.
Isaiah chapter 8 verse 20. To the law and to the testimony.
And the testimony. What is that? Give me the book of Revelation chapter 19 verse 10, because precept must be upon precept. Go ahead, read on, brother. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 19 verse 10.
Go ahead.
And I fell at his feet to worship him.
Go ahead.
And he said unto me, see thou do it not.
Because the angel had to stop John. He said, see thou do it not. Because that John bowed down to the angel who was in the midst of idolatry. Go ahead, read on.
I am thy fellow servant.
I am thy fellow servant. We are the servants of the Most High first, then we serve our people. Go ahead, read on, brother. Go ahead.
And of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus.
The testimony of the Christ, the Messiah. Something I may say Yahweh Shai, but we do know he is the Son of the Most High. Go ahead, read on.
Worship God.
Worship the Most High God. There's no other God above the Most High God of Israel. Go ahead, read on.
For the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy.
Because if you don't have the spirit of Christ on you, you will not understand this Bible, will be lost in the sauce of no comprehension. Go back to the book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 20, to give me the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23.
Isaiah, chapter 8, verse 20.
Go ahead, brother.
To the law and to the testimony.
Go ahead.
If they speak not according to this word,
go ahead.
It is because there is no light in them.
Because if your spiritual leader or your pastor, whoever they call themselves, then I speak of precept for precept as the Bible is written. It says there's no light in them. You're in the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23. Go ahead, read on, brother. Go ahead, read on, brother. Go ahead.
Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp.
Go ahead.
And the law is light.
Go ahead.
And reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
Because the laws and Christ supposed to help you navigate through sin. The example would be if you are a person that loves to lie or steal, whatever the case may be, you're supposed to take the commandments to a high level and recognize Christ himself was a liar or thief. Therefore, you pattern yourself after Christ. Therefore, you correct yourself, because that is reproof. Now, Judah, thy brethren shall praise. Judah, thy brethren shall praise. Give me the book of Genesis, chapter 29 and verse 10. Let's go to the beginning. Okay, we always have to start from the beginning, dealing with the tribes, because we're not going to break the whole tribe ensign down. We're going to just deal with Judah tonight because it's very important to know what we're dealing with. From the beginning, I want the book of Genesis chapter 29 and verse 10.
Genesis chapter 29 verse 10. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother.
Go ahead, brother.
Verse 11. And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept.
So he kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and he wept. Okay, go ahead, read on.
Verse 12. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father.
So she ran and told her father. Good clue. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 13.
Here's the thing. She ran and told her father. That should be a clue for some of you brothers, okay, out there, okay? We're gonna deal with it. It should be a clue for some of you brothers regarding marriage. Okay, go ahead, read on. Go ahead.
Verse 13. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him.
Go ahead.
And brought him to his house.
Go ahead.
And he told Laban all these things.
He told Laban all these things. Why? Why would he do that? Because he had to go to the father. Go to the father. That's the understanding that you should have as a man of God. Do everything in decency and in order. Go ahead, read on. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh.
Go ahead.
And he abode with him the space of a month.
So what does it mean when it says, surety thou art my bone and my flesh? What does that mean on the comment boards? What does it mean when he says, surety thou art my bone and my flesh? He abode with him the space of a month. What does that mean? Okay, when it says bone in my bone, you should pretty much know that. That's pretty much self-explanatory. I hope so. Okay? If you don't know, it means it's of the nation. Of his nation. Okay? Of his nation. Of his nation. Of his nation. Give me Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. Give me Tobit to prove a point. Give me Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. All right? I said that for a reason, okay? I'm going to show you why I said it once we read on down. Okay, this is the beginning stages, as we know as the 12 tribes of Israel. I want you to go ahead. Tobit 4 and 12. Real fast, exactly.
Tobit chapter 4 verse 12.
Go ahead.
Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, which is not of the father's tribe.
So now what it's letting you know is if you are in an interracial marriage, and I'm not just talking about Edomite either, because everybody, when you know what's funny, when everybody associate interracial marriage, they always put a white woman. But you can be dealing with an African woman or Ethiopian woman. That's interracial, even though we the same skin tone. They are Cushites, okay? They're Cushites. So that they're not saying this. So technically speaking, that would be an interracial marriage. See, people keep thinking interracial. They think white woman. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand, it's a different nation. He said, what did he say again? Verse 12. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
They call it whoredom. So if you're in an interracial marriage, that's not really a marriage to the Most High. It's really called whoredom. Go ahead, read on.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe.
Also, what makes a woman strange? That's twofold. What makes a woman strange? This is for you brothers. I want to make sure brothers understand, because it says not take a strange woman to wife, But what does it also mean when it says strange woman? What does it mean? I'm going to see who's thinking. Because it says, take not a strange woman to wife, right? Okay. Okay, perfect. She's not a believer. Because she could be strange. She could be of Israel, but not of Israel, if that makes sense. She could be a woman who is an Israelite by nation, but because she isn't a believer, she could be a strange woman. Because she's not applying the commandments. That will make her strange as well. That's what I keep telling everybody. Just because a person, we always say, all skin folk isn't kinfolk. It's the same thing with Israel. All Israel is not always Israel. Okay? You have to keep commandments, to get the full understanding of who you are. Go ahead, read on. Go ahead, keep on, go read.
For we are the children of the prophets.
The children of the what?
The prophets.
Go ahead, read on.
Noah, Abraham, and Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land.
Now go back to the book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 14, so help you understand what is it talking about, what Jacob is doing. Because remember something. Remember, Tobit is going back and saying, remember chiefly. He's going back into the history of our people, right? How the nation was built. Okay, so go back to you were at Genesis chapter 29, verse 14.
Genesis chapter 29, verse 14. And thy seed shall be...
Genesis 29, 14.
Oh.
Genesis, yes. Yeah.
28, 14.
Yes,
all
sir.
Right. Genesis chapter 29, verse 14.
Good, brother.
And Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with them the space of a month.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be?
Go ahead.
And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel.
Go ahead, brother.
Leah was tender.
What does it mean when it says Leah was tender-eyed? What does it mean? Because it says Leah was tender-eyed. What does it mean when it says that? Let's see who's thinking. That's for men and women. I'm going to let the women answer too. Because y'all need to know this too. Okay? When it says that Leah was tender-eyed, what does that really mean? What is it talking about? Let's see who's thinking. Okay? It says Leah was tender-eyed. What does it mean? Let's see who's thinking. Get on the comment boards, okay? Let's see who's thinking, okay? It says, I'm going to say it again. It says Leah was tender-eyed. What does that mean? Ladies, you can answer as well. Tender-eyed? Okay, you said beautiful? Okay, shamefaced. Okay, hard on the eyes. Thank you. Rael got it. Because what it was, she wasn't really... Can you read, finish up on the verse. Because you'll see the contrast. Go ahead, read.
Leah was tender-eyed.
Go ahead.
But Rachel was beautiful and well-favored.
You see? Beautiful and well-favored. So when Leah was not, she was average. I just said average. She wasn't, because when you look at, and I said average in a good way. I'm not saying in a bad way, you ladies, okay? I don't want nobody to get me. I don't want nobody to get me now, okay? I don't want nobody to get me. But what I'm saying is, Leah was tender-eyed, okay? She wasn't favored like, because it actually shows you Rachel was beautiful and well-favored, which means she was beautiful. She was tremendous, okay? So you can see why she was chosen by Jacob. Because I'm going to tell you why. Give me the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, verse 22. Let me show you what I mean when I say that. You get some context to it. I don't want to get myself in trouble now. You ladies might be like, there he go again. But I'm going to just show you something. So go to, I want Ecclesiasticus chapter 36, verse 22.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 36, verse 22. The beauty of a woman.
What?
The beauty of a woman.
The beauty of a woman. Go ahead.
Cheereth the countenance.
Cheereth the countenance. So the beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance. So you can imagine what Jacob was seeing when he saw Rachel. It blew his mind. Like, whoa. Love it. You know what he said? Love at first sight, basically. I'm just telling you. So read it again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 36, verse 22.
Go ahead.
The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance, and a man loveth nothing better.
A man loves nothing better. So go back to you were at in Genesis. Now you understand. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 29, verse 17.
Yes,
Leah
sir.
was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored.
Go ahead.
And Jacob loved Rachel, and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel thy younger daughter. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. Verse 20. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her.
You see that, brothers? See, because he studied her. He understands, you know what? Them 7 years was as it was a few days, because he was like, wait a minute, man. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know? You have something to say, Ben?
Keep to myself.
I'm just saying, because look, he looked at her like, wow. He studied her like, them 7 years, man. Oh man, I can't wait. Okay? Because he saw her, she was, that was what he wanted. You see, go ahead, read on. I just want to make that point. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 21, and Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her.
So listen what he's saying. He says, Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. What that's showing you, brothers, is this. I'm telling you, brothers, this. When Jacob was wanting to get her, he did it righteously. He didn't take the sister for lust, even though she was beautiful. He said, give me my wife, because when he lied with her, his intentions was to make her his wife. Not to get your rocks off and play games and say, oh, it's just fornication. That's not what this is about. This is nation building right here. Okay? So his intent was to lay with her and make her his wife. Simple as that. Won't no playing games with this. Okay? Go ahead, read on. Go.
Verse 22.
Go ahead.
And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah, his daughter, and brought her to him, and he went in unto her.
Uh-oh, it's a problem. Go ahead, keep on. Keep on.
Verse 24. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah, his maid, for an handmaid.
Go ahead, brother.
Verse 25. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve thee for Rachel? Therefore, then hast thou beguiled me.
Man, the father, man, he did my man dirty. He did my man Jacob dirty. He said, man, 'cause he went to the marriage family, he thought he was getting Rachel. But he did a switcheroo on him and gave him Leah. Wow. Keep going. Go ahead.
And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn.
Go ahead.
Verse 27, fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years.
Good gracious. Could you imagine? You just know you got, man, you just know daggone, you got doggone Rachel. Said, man, I'm going to go. I got my wife. You get tricked. You already served 7 years. Then you say, I served 7 more doggone years. But watch up how Jacob handled it, though. Let's find out how he handled it. Go ahead, read on.
And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also.
So, even in all that, Jacob still was righteous. He still kept Leah. He still kept her. But remember, he didn't ask for another wife. Okay, he didn't ask for another wife. He didn't, some brothers don't want to use this and try to use this as an example. Say, see, they had other wives. But that wasn't Jacob's intent. His intent wasn't to have another wife. But keep going, it gets better. Read on. Go ahead, read on.
verse 29.
Uh-huh.
And Laban gave to Rachel his daughters, Bilhah,
Uh-huh.
his handmaid,
Mm-hmm.
to be her maid.
Go ahead.
Verse 30. And he went in also unto Rachel,
Uh-huh.
and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years.
That's a problem. That's why multiple wives is pretty tough, y'all. Because remember, he favored Rachel more than he favored Leah. But watch how the Most High does it. He favored Rachel more than Leah. Let's find out who comes through Leah. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 31. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren.
So when the Lord saw that she was hated, he opened up her womb. He blessed her, but he kept Rachel barren. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 32. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely the Lord had looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me.
What does this show y'all about our women back in this time? What does it really show about the posture of our women? What does it show y'all? Let's find those thinking. Yeah, I'm going to deal with you sisters too. What does it show y'all about the posture of our women during this time as opposed to today? What does it show you about even with childbearing? What does it show y'all about that? What does it show you? What does it show? What does it show the posture of our women during this time? What does it show you? Think about it. Think about it for a second. What does it show you the posture as opposed to today? It's not a trick question. I want you to think about the mentality. Think about it for a second. Just give it some thought. This is for you ladies too. You can answer too. What does it show you about the posture of our women during this time? Think about it for a second. Even go back to Sarah. Even go back to Sarah. What does it show you? They wanted to please the husband and give him seed. Affirmative, you right, you're on the right. But see what it is during this time, ladies. During this time, it was an honor to have righteous seed from righteous man. Not today. Now everybody want the after morning pill. They want to kill the baby now. They don't care about the children because it isn't looked at in the same context today. The same mentality is not because they're not. See, the problem is, y'all, if we get back to the purest way of the truth, we won't have this nonsense going on. Okay, go ahead, read on. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Verse 33.
Mm-hmm. And submissive, exactly, brothers. Submissive, exactly. Exactly, was humble and submissive as well. They didn't buck up, even though, I'm just showing you how the mentality was. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 33.
Mm-hmm.
And she conceived again and bare a son.
Uh-huh.
And she said, because the Lord had heard that I was hated, that he therefore given me this son also. She called his name Simeon.
Go ahead.
Verse 34. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi.
Go ahead. Now you see how it's working? Now Rachel haven't conceived yet. Leah getting all the attention. She's getting everything that she wasn't getting, because remember something. It said that Jacob loved Rachel more. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 35. And she conceived again and bare a son.
Go ahead.
And she said, now will I praise the Lord.
I would do what?
Praise the Lord.
Go ahead.
Therefore she called his name Judah and left bearing.
So if y'all understand, all Judah means is the Most High's praise. That's why, brothers and sisters, be very careful about what you name your children. Because all these tribes, we're not gonna hit all of them. We're gonna hit some of them at some point. I'm gonna hit some points. But the fact of the matter is, they all have their prophecies. When you look at tribes, okay, remember the attributes, the curses, the blessings, and the geographics. That's how you look at the tribes, all right? But the fact of the matter is, I'm showing you Judah for a reason, okay? It says, Judah, thy brethren shall praise, basically. But go to the next chapter, chapter 30.
Chapter 30, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Or Genesis chapter 30, verse 1. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister, and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die.
So now, she's like, give me children lest I die. She envied her sister. Ain't that something? Because her sister could do something she couldn't do. But the Most High did it like that for a reason. It's a reason why the Most High does these things. Go ahead, read on. Go ahead.
And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, am I in God's stead, who hath withheld from thee the fruit of the womb?
In other words, Jacob like, why you blaming me like you blaming me for it? It's the Most High God that does this. Okay? She's upset because remember something, she was well favored. So now the Lord said, okay, I'm gonna keep her barren. Okay, go ahead, read on. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And she said, behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her.
Go ahead.
And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife. And Jacob went in unto her. And Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. And Rachel said, God hath judged me, and hath also heard my voice, and hath given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan. So
you had Dan, that's a tribe. Okay, that's a tribe of Dan. Go ahead, read on. Because remember something. Now, this was given by her handmaid. Her handmaid, because she gave her handmaid to Jacob to wife. It was, listen, I'm going to say this one more time, brothers. Jacob did not go after these women. It was a woman's idea. Even with Sarah, it was her idea to give Abraham who? Hagar. Same thing here. Why? Because they wanted righteous seed. Okay, go ahead, read on.
And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, with great wrestling have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali.
Now, you go to Naphtali, you see wrestlings with the border of Naphtali and that tribe. You go over their history, you'll see what it's talking about. That's why I'm telling you again, the prophecies that's being prophesied, you go to Genesis 49, and you break it down, you're going to show that they wrestled, even in history. Okay, because it said we should befell them in the last days. Go ahead, read on. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And when Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife.
So now she's doing it. Now she's going to give Jacob her maid. How many women is total now? How many women is total? How many? How many now? Okay. 4. Thank you. It's 4. Okay. Keep going. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 10. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And Leah said, a troop cometh. And she called his name Gad.
So now Gad, remember something. Gad, a troop shall overcome Gad. We go to Genesis 49. Even back then, the prophecy was already set up in the beginning. So when the tribes have been developed, remember something. 4 women, when we have the 12 tribes of Israel is by these 4 women. Okay, go ahead, read on. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher. Verse 14. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found mandrakes in the field.
Now jump down to verse 22. I just want to get to the Rachel right quick. I'm going to show you something. The Most High eventually blessed her. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 22. And God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her, and opened her womb.
Because you want to know why? Because when she prayed and trusted in the Most High, He opened up her womb. The Lord saw her intentions. Her true intentions was to have the daughter have righteous seed. Okay, but I just want to just bring that point out. I'm not gonna go over the whole thing. I just want to bring a point that during that time you had different mindsets with our women. But these 4 women did what? They bare the 12 sons of Israel. But remember, Jacob only wanted Rachel. He didn't go after all these women. So brothers always say, well, it's for nation building. No, because that wasn't what Jacob was trying to do. It was a woman's idea. And quite frankly, brothers, to be quite frankly with y'all, really, multiple wives is a woman's idea. Straight up. Because look at the women who, it was their idea. Okay? So keep that in mind. So remember, the Lord didn't need that. It was prophesied that it had to happen that way. He allowed to happen that way. Because it wasn't even his idea. His idea was for Rachel. That's what I'm there pointing out. God, jump to Genesis chapter 37 and verse 6. Hope you understand what I'm talking about. Because more than just, see, the problem with people is they always want to jump. You know something, before you even go there, bro, I ain't even go to Genesis 37. Go to Genesis 38, verse 1. I'm getting right to Judah. Let's go right to Judah. Because that's what the name of the class is, Judah, right? For time's sake, I'm just going to skip over it. I'm going to go over a particular law. See what people's thinking. Okay, give me the Genesis chapter 38, start at verse 1.
Genesis chapter 38, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass that at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned in to a certain Adulamite, whose name was Hira. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. And he took her and went in unto her. And she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Chizib. There you go. When she bare him.
Go ahead.
And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar.
So Judah took a wife for his firstborn. Go ahead, read on.
And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him.
See how the Most High ain't playing? The Most High ain't playing with no children. Because he was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and he slew him. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 8. And Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother.
Okay, show me. So what is this all about? Brothers, I'm gonna see who's thinking with the watchman. What is this? It says, and Judah said unto Onan, Go in to thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. What is this all about? Let's find out who's thinking, brothers. What is this all about, brother? Let's find out. What is this all about? This is ancient times now. Okay, just before Christ. It says in Judah, verse 8, it says, and Judah said to Onan, Go in into thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. What is this talking about, brothers? Let's find out who's thinking. What is it talking about? Raise seed for the nation, love thy brother. Exactly. Let me show you the law. Because during this time, it was a law. Go to Deuteronomy, chapter 25, verse 5. Because, remember y'all, we still on nation building. Israel's being built up, right? But let's find out what the law says. Because Deuteronomy really means second law. It's still the law, right? So Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 5. Let's go to it. Building.
Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 5.
Go ahead.
If brethren dwell together, and one of them die, and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her, and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of an husband's brother unto her.
So during this time, y'all, in ancient times, it was a law that if the brother died with no seed, okay, that brother's supposed to take his brother's wife, who's a widow at that time, and go in into her to raise up seed unto his brother. Keep reading. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
And
it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel.
So now, it's letting it be known, because you're the seed of your father. So this is righteous at this time for the brother to show love and neighbor to his brother by raising up seed and on the brother's behalf. Okay, so his name will be put out of Israel. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 7. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders, and say, my husband's brother refuseth to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother.
So she went to the elders, which that was supposed to happen, the elders of the nation, and said that he's not trying to perform that duty. Go ahead, read. Go to the elders. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 8. Then the elders of this city shall call him and speak unto him. And if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her.
Okay, go ahead, read on.
Verse 9. Then shall his brother's wife come in unto him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoe from off his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house.
Because if you're not doing that, you're showing hatred to your brother. But we're going to find out what happened with Onan. Go ahead, read on. Go ahead, read. Verse 10.
Verse 10. And his name shall be called in Israel, the house of him that hath his shoe loose.
To have his shoe loose. So that's shameful. Because now you showed your brother what? Hatred. Go back. Let's find what the Most High did this time. Go back to the book of Genesis chapter 38 and verse 8 and 9 now.
Okay. Genesis chapter 38 verse 8.
Uh-huh.
And Judah said unto Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother.
Go ahead.
And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest he should give seed to his brother.
So now, what this also showing you, brothers and sisters, is seed is sperm. Okay, it's sperm. It's showing you seed is sperm. So when he did that, he showed hatred to his brother. Go ahead, read on. Let's find what the Most High did. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 10. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord. Wherefore he slew him also. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house till Shelah my son be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he die also, as his brothers did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house.
Why did Judah tell Tamar to remain with her at my father's house till he be grown? What does it mean? Why is he saying that? What that to tell you? Till he be grown. What does it mean? I don't know what's going on with this. It's all glitchy. Yes,
Yeah,
all
it's glitchy.
It's happening because it's overload. It's like bit rate.
What it also means, y'all, is this. The age of a man, like you just said, the firm groups got it. The age of a man and woman, marital age is 20. That's why he said that. He won't do everything in decency and order. So the age is 20. Because the enzyme of the father, what are the numbers? Chapter 2, verse 3 and 4. Because remember something, we all have an enzyme according to our tribes. We all do. Okay? But let me show you the beginning of how it was built. How the nation was being built. You have to know how the tribes are being built, how they get their names, how these things are happening. Numbers chapter 2, verse 3. Numbers chapter 2 and verse 3.
Numbers chapter 2 verse 3. On the east side towards Numbers chapter 2 verse 3.
Yes.
On the east side towards the rising of the sun shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah. Pitch
Of the what? Of the what?
of Judah.
Of the camp of Judah.
Camp of Judah.
Everybody could have been camps. This is the camp of Judah, of that tribe. Go ahead, read on.
Pitched throughout their armies. And Nashan, the son of Abinadab, shall be captain of the children of Judah. Verse 4. And his host, and those that were numbered of them, were 600 Verse 5.
That's all I wanted. Because I just want to show the standard of the father. See, remember something. The tribe, even, I'm using an example. And let's do with tribes for a second. Let's say you're a Judite. And you marry a Benjamite, or a man married a Benjamite. That child becomes Judah because it's the seed of the father, even though it's within the tribes. Same thing if the Judah married a Levite. Same thing. The child becomes a Judite based on the seed of the standard of the inside of the father. So that's why it's showing you, that's why it's imperative that we marry within our nation, the 12 tribes, because you keep it within the nation. It's very important. That's why marriage is very important when you marry within the 12 tribes. So now go to Genesis 49, verse 8. Genesis chapter 49, I want to start at verse 8. Matter of fact, I want to start at verse 1. Then I want you to jump down to, go to 1 and 2, then jump down to verse 8 is what I want.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which may befall you in the last days.
So when is the last days? If y'all don't know, the last days when Christ died. That's when the last days started. Okay? When he died. Go ahead, read on.
Gather yourselves together. And hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
And hearken to Israel your father. So it's showing you right now what Jacob is doing. Israel is giving the prophecies what's going to befall the tribes in the last days. I'm going to say this one more time. When you look at this, Genesis 49, it deals with the geographics, the curses, and the blessings. That's how you're able to tell the tribes and their attributes. Even today you can tell. We're going to deal with something. Give me the book. Go to Genesis. Go down to verse 8.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
Didn't we read about that when he was born? He was given the name Judah. It means thou, it says, thy brethren shall praise. Okay, go ahead, read on.
Thy hand shall be at the neck of thine enemy.
What does it mean when it says, thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies? What does that mean? Let's find out who's thinking. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. What does that mean, brothers? Let's find out, and maybe my sisters might know too. But let's find out who knows it. What does it mean? It tells you thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. What does that mean? Judah would dwell with his enemy Esau. Yes, because this is the top nation, the Edomite nation in America. The bulk of the Judites will be in what we say the Western Hemisphere, which would be known as North America. But we also have Judites all over the world. But the bulk of the Israelites is in the Western Hemisphere, North, South, and Central America. But it says that it should be in the neck. The hand should be in the neck of thy enemies. Go ahead, read on.
Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
Go ahead.
Thy hand shall be at the neck of thine enemies.
Go ahead.
Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
So here's the thing. So the father's children shall bow down before thee. This tribe, what you see right now, what we call the Southern Kingdom, all right? Because the kingdom was split. We're going to deal with that one day too. You have Judah, Benjamin, Levi. What's happening when it says praise for the truth, most of the Southern Kingdom is the one that's raising up and teaching the truth right now. Okay? You have, that is like Judah's in the forefront. Okay? Because right now, keep going. Go jump to verse 9.
Verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp.
He said Judah's a lion's whelp. Remember, Judah was the biggest catalyst for the civil rights movement in the 60s. Because think about Judah. Because remember something, Judah, that tribe basically was pushing the civil rights movement, which helped other people get the civil rights. The civil rights bill, so forth. So when it says Judah is a lion's whelp, it's a young lion that's pushing, always in the forefront of movements. Okay? I don't care what movement it was. We was always in the forefront. Not to negate the other tribes, but that tribe was pushing the movements. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp.
Uh-huh.
From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
So there's an old lion. Look at the old lion now. Right now, people are being put to sleep. And because what happens over time, you get comfortable in this captivity. And you start to realize, okay, well, a lot of our people now are joining forces with the enemy right now. Because they're not really fully convinced of what's going on. That's why it's important for us to stay strong. We keep on reading. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah.
The scepter means the rulership should not depart from Judah. Because remember, what is the rulership? What does it say? The scepter means rulership. It shall not depart from Judah. Why? Because of Christ. That's why. Go ahead, read on.
Nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
And to him shall the gathering of the people shall be. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 11. Binding his foil unto
His foil.
foil unto the vine, and his ass coat unto the choice vine.
The ass colt. So when you look at this particular, it says binding his foil unto the vine, and his ass colt into the choice vine. The ass colt. Y'all should know about that. What that prophecy? That prophecy about when Christ came in on the colt, right? And it says he washed his garments in wine and his clothes in the blood of grapes. You should know what that means. Even know about the prophecy about when Christ come back, he's going to bring the winepress. Hold on, since I said it, give me the book of Isaiah, chapter 63. Isaiah chapter 63. And I want, let's see. Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, 63, start at verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 63, verse 1. Who is that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? That that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Verse 2. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like unto him that treadeth the wine fat. Verse 3. I have trodden the winepress alone, and the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help. And I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me.
Go ahead.
And I will tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in my fury. And I will bring down their strength to the earth.
So now what is that? That's a future prophecy. It's showing y'all that prophecies are also in Genesis. It's showing y'all that what's going to happen through Christ, through Judah, he's going to take down the so-called white man. It's telling you that in Genesis. So that's what it says. So it says, so let it be, go back to Genesis chapter 49, and I want that verse 11 again.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 11. Binding his foil unto the vine, and his ass coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garment in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk.
His eyes red with wine, which means you have the understanding, the knowledge, the wine. But I'm just giving you the future prophecy who this is coming through the tribe of Judah. From there, give me Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 7. Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 7. Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 7. Because now you have the geographics, the prophecies. This is just dealing with Judah, okay? But you also have this right here, Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 7. Go ahead, read.
Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 7.
Go ahead.
And this is the blessing of Judah. And he said, Hear, Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him unto his people, and let his hands be sufficient for him, and be thou in help to him from his enemies.
Because the blessing, look at the blessings of Judah. Right now, Judah is going to be considered the head tribe. What y'all don't know is, okay, we know Reuben was the firstborn, right? But Reuben transgressed by laying with his father's concubine. Okay? So the blessing didn't go to him. Okay? Then you also had Simeon and Levi. They killed a man. They had instruments of cruelty. They killed a man, right? So it went from them to Judah. Judah was the fourth son of Israel. Okay? The fourth son of Israel. All right? So now the blessing comes to him. And it was already set up in the beginning anyway. Already set up already. Okay? So I understand that's the blessing. Go from there, from Joel, chapter 3, verse 1. The book of Joel, chapter 3, and verse 1. Because you know something, when you think about it, y'all, look at the tribes, all right? Look at how they set up today. Okay, you look at Judah, and like I said before, the bulk of Judah would be, and we call it in the Americas, right? But, like I said before, Judah is also in the four corners of the earth. You got Judah is all over it. But you have to fit the prophecies as well as much as the curses, all right? So, give me that book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1.
Joel chapter 3, verse 1.
Go ahead, brother.
Behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
So you can bring the captivity of what? Of who?
Judah and Jerusalem.
Judah and Jerusalem. Okay, go ahead, read on.
I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and parted my land.
So what people don't understand is this is talking about the southern kingdom, okay? Because when it says Judah and Jerusalem, it's only talking about the southern kingdom, which is when the kingdom split, you had the kingdom of Judah, which comprised of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 3. They have cast lots for my people.
So when it says cast lots for my people, if y'all didn't know, y'all baby knew. It means that you would put on the auction block. Okay, you know, nigga sold to Master Charlie in Virginia, whatever the case, using it as an example. Cast lots for my people. Just dealing with the actual southern kingdom right now, because the northern kingdom, which we're gonna deal with, hopefully, we're gonna deal with soon, is gonna show you this is what we call the Middle Passage, the transatlantic slave trade. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 3. They have cast lots for my people.
Go ahead.
And have given a boy for an harlot.
Okay, and to give it a boy for a harlot, that means that he was a breeder. You had breeding farms. I know here in Virginia you had breeding farms. It has a history. And we call it breeding farms when they had, what they call sex camps. And they were having breeding, like animals. Like, how you breed animals, like you breed dogs. That's the same way they were doing to people. Okay, to get the biggest slaves. They had to use a boy for a harlot. Go ahead, read on.
And so the girl for wine, that they might drink.
And they sold a girl for wine, which means she was given as a gift. Sometimes, the other slave owners would come in, and they would just give her for a gift, or they were how we call orgies. Think about this. They were doing this stuff back then. Okay, go ahead, read on.
Verse 4, yea. And what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Go ahead.
And all the coast of Palestine.
Now, here's the thing. That Tyre and Zidon, then with the modern day Africans of the coast, and Palestine, also the Arabs. We talked with the Arabs last week about how the Arabs was a part of the sub-Saharan slave trade. So this also shows you Palestinians, they had their hands in the slave trade as well. So what was happening, you had the Africans had us in slavery as well, and you also had the Arabs came together. If you watch Roots, remember the first Roots, I'm the first one. When Kunta Kinte was doing his called I forgot what it was kind of his ritual, whatever he's doing to become a man. Well, when he saw the first slave catchers come in, he saw the other Africans, and he also saw this Arab with a turban on his head. That should also show you that they all came together to put us in captivity. Go ahead, read on.
Will you rent? Let me start over.
Okay.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon,
Uh-huh.
and all the coast of Palestine?
Go ahead.
Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me
Uh-huh.
swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own
Because
head?
they were saying in their mind, because the Most High God didn't choose them as the chosen people, they thought by putting us in captivity, they was going to pay the Most High God back. But the Most High said, okay, swiftly, I'm going to recompense and put it back on your head. How do we prove that? Get in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and verse 9 and 10. Because the same way they put us in captivity, he said, okay, because you didn't choose us, you can recompense the Most High by putting us in slavery. The Lord's, I'm going to put the recompense swiftly upon your head. How do we prove that? Revelation chapter 13 and verse 9 and 10.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man hath an ear, let him hear.
Mm-hmm.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
He that leadeth to captivity shall go into captivity. The Africans and the Arabs had us in captivity, so therefore they must go into captivity. Go ahead, read on.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Uh-huh.
Here is the patience and the faith of the
The
saints.
patient and faith of the saints. That must happen to, because guess what? He did it to us. But they thought by putting us in slavery and putting us in captivity, they thought they were paying the Most High God back. But the Most High said, I'm going to swiftly bring the recompense upon your heads. Go back to where we're at, Joel, okay, in chapter 3 and verse 5 now.
Joel chapter 3 verse 5. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold,
Uh-huh.
and have carried into your temples my goodly and pleasant things.
Mhm.
The children also of Judah
Uh-huh.
and the children of Jerusalem.
So once again, the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem dealing with the southern kingdom. Go ahead, read on.
have ye sold into the Grecians.
The who?
The Grecians.
Sold to the white man. So what you understand is the Arabs and the so-called Africans sold us, the so-called white man, which it kicks all we know of the Middle Passage. We call it the transatlantic slave trade. Go ahead, read on.
that ye might remove them far from their border.
And when this happened, 70 AD. Remove them far from their border. From there, give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 6 to 8. Because people should understand this, okay? We look at it on a spiritual level. These curses identify on who the true children of Israel are. If you don't fit these curses, you are not an Israelite. I don't care what you may say, whatever you call yourselves, you are not an Israelite. I want the Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68.
Go ahead, brother.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
If y'all don't know, Egypt, bring thee into Egypt again. If you have a map, you see that Egypt is in northeast Africa. You do not need a ship to get to Egypt from Jerusalem. Okay? What do we call Egypt? You know what I want. What do we call the precept for? What do we call Egypt? What do we call it? So, because think about it. It says we should be going to Egypt again. The first time we went to Egypt, we walked, didn't we? So this time, look on the map. Egypt is in northeast Africa, right? So you don't have, if you look at it on the map. Look at it on the map. Do you need a ship to get to Egypt? You know what I want? Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. What is so some of y'all maybe new, y'all might not understand what does Egypt mean in the scriptures. Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. You got it?
Exodus chapter 20 verse 2.
Go ahead, brother.
I am the Lord thy God,
Uh-huh.
which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
Uh-huh.
out of the house of bondage.
So in this context, understand that Egypt means the house of bondage. That's what it means. So go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 6 to 8 again. Okay, go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68.
Go ahead, brother.
And the Lord shall bring thee again into Egypt with ships.
It says that shall bring to Egypt again, this time the house of bondage with ships. We just read about that when you on Joel about we were sold to the Grecians. The transatlantic slave trade went to Egypt also for the northern kingdom. Okay, we're going to deal with that shortly. We'll deal with that soon. When they were put on slave ships as well in Hispaniola. Some of y'all don't know you Hispanics, you were enslaved in the 1400s. Okay, you were on slave ships as well. But also in this context, y'all, also showing you that we were on cargo slave ships to get to the New Egypt, which we know today as America. If y'all didn't know that, right? It says to Egypt again with ships. Go ahead, read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto
So
thee.
as he spake it, it happened. That's how y'all know the Bible is a true book, because as Moses prophesied thousands of years ago, it happened. That's how you know the Bible is a true book. Go ahead, read on.
Thou shalt see it no more
You
again.
won't see a homeland again, Jerusalem again, until when Christ come back and establish the kingdom on earth. That's the only time we shall see our nation, which is our land, again. Go ahead, read on.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
So when you get to the New Egypt, you should be sold into your enemies. Like we read in Joel about how it's showing you was on auction blocks. You should be sold to your enemies. Go ahead, read on.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
For bond men and bond women. So women, you were in captivity along with us. Go ahead, read on.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man shall redeem. Buy means to redeem. It's a quicker word to redeem. The only one that's going to redeem you is Christ. They already tried with different movements. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, just to name a few. They tried, they failed. Nat Turner tried. Gabriel Prosser tried. It didn't work because we need Christ to redeem us. Was that it?
That was it.
That was it. So,
That was it on 68.
okay, so now go to Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7 now. Because it's a certain order that must take place. That's why you see brothers pushing this truth to a high level. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7. Because remember something, it's a certain level of excellence we have to push this truth. That's why it's very important for us as believers, as what we call watchmen, to go out to the streets to teach our people. Because this has to happen in order. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7. You got it?
Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7.
Go ahead, brother.
The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first.
The Lord shall save the tents of Judah first. When Christ came on the scene, who did he go to first? Who did he go to? Who did Christ go to first? Who did Christ go to first? When Christ came, who did Christ go to first? Who did he go to first? Come on, Watchmen, y'all should know. Who did he go to first? Thank you, Judah. Because remember, where did he go? He went to the Pharisees. The Pharisees made up what we know. They were the scribes and the Pharisees. Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Okay, but he went to them first because it was an order. Go back to Zechariah 12 and 7 again. Zechariah 12 and 7.
Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah.
You shouldn't magnify yourself against Judah, because Judah is the head tribe. It just is. Some people don't, and I think that's a big problem too with our tribes today, where brothers have between the Hispanics and blacks is still a division going on. Even in Israel, you'd be surprised. Now I've actually seen camps. It's sad to say I've seen camps where brothers push that the Hispanics, not the Israelites, and you got vice versa. The Hispanics come back and forth, and that's crazy, because we're all in this together. But it's just a trick of Satan. So when people start doing it, what they do? They cause more confusion. Okay, you shouldn't magnify yourself against Judah, and you shouldn't vex Ephraim. We go there. If you think about it. Okay, go ahead, read on.
Verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them.
Because remember something, y'all. We did the class months ago. The feeble, which is weak among you shall be as David. As we know, David was mighty. We did that topic a month ago. But it's showing you in that day, the feeble among you should be as David. Okay, from there, give me the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Because now, when you look at Judah, right? Look at Judah, and I just say, I always love to use the southern kingdom. I don't want to split it up like that, because we're all of the tribes, the 12 tribes of Israel. But the main ones now that's pushing, and it's filtering down to what we know the northern kingdom, You know, like it's going with Ephraim too, because Ephraim is the head tribe. But it's showing you right now, it's filtering down, but it's talking with Judah first. Okay? Zephaniah 2:1.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Gather yourself together. Yea, gather together.
Mhm.
O nation not desired.
So, you know, the nation, we're not desired. If y'all, listen, you got the memo? The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are the most despised people on the planet. We're not desired. When you think about us, I mean, look, I saw a documentary, real talk, about the racist people in Hollywood. John Wayne, I'm going to show you something about John Wayne. He's a devil too, by the way. Okay? He really hated the Native Americans. He hated the Native. It wasn't an act. He really hated the Native Americans. He hated them. Because remember in his movies, the only good Indian is a dead Indian? He meant that because in 1973, y'all don't know this, it was doing Oscar, and it was a Gadite sister. She was protesting against how the Native Americans were being treated. Well, John Wayne, with his racist self, had to be restrained because he was going to do something to the sister. But it's showing y'all the hatred that they have for our people. They know who we are. They know. See, it's more spiritual than what you can believe. It ain't a hate campaign, it's a true campaign. But we're not desired. They hate our people. Believe that. Okay? And you know what's crazy? The difference now, everybody has social media. See, a long time ago, they could get away with stuff, and you couldn't see it. But now TMZ, everybody has some type of outlet. So you can see the racism right now. We're not desired. What the Bible says? We're not desired. What the Bible say? Go ahead, read on.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1.
Go ahead,
gather
brother.
yourself together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Gather yourself together, O nation not desired. Go ahead, read on. Was that it?
That was it on 1.
Okay, that's all I wanted. From there, so we had to gather. How do we gather ourselves together, brothers? By going to the streets teaching. We're gathering to galvanize the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why we go to the streets. That's why we go to the streets in this heat. I don't care if it's cold outside. We go out there to push the truth to the apocalypse. From there, give me the book of Zechariah, chapter 2 and verse 12 now. Zechariah 2 and verse 12. Because you know something? We have to understand that the prophecies of these nations that put us in captivity, they got to pay for it. But these tribes, you have to understand what these tribes are about, how they came about. That's how I want to go to the birthplace, the birth of our nation, how we became who we are as these tribes, how you look at the ensign. Okay, go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 2, verse 12. And the Lord shall inherit Judah, his portion, in the Holy Land, and shall choose Jerusalem again.
So he says, and the Lord shall inherit Judah, his portion, and the Holy Land, and shall choose Jerusalem again. That's future tense. It's coming. He's not going to choose Jerusalem now because it's in chaos right now. Right now you have what we call imposters. We call converts in Jerusalem right now. They're not the true Jews, what you would call the Jews. And once again, I'm going to say this one more time. Judah was a man. We just read about Judah was a man, right? How can you take a man and make a religion out of him? Call it Judaism. Does that make sense? How can you take a man Judah and make a religion out of him? Doesn't make sense. Judaism. But we know what that's all about. Some of y'all should know. Go ahead, read on next verse. Huh? You good? Read verse 12 again, then verse 13.
Gotcha.
You good?
Zechariah chapter 2, verse 12.
Go ahead.
And the Lord shall inherit Judah his portion in the Holy Land, and shall choose Jerusalem again.
Go ahead.
Be silent.
What?
Be silent.
Go ahead.
O all flesh before the Lord.
Uh-huh.
For he is raised up out of his holy habitation.
He is raised up out of his holy habitation. Who is that talking about? He's raised up out of his holy habitation. I just leave it at that. Y'all should know. You should know Judah, holy habitation. From there, Psalms chapter 71, verse 6. Thank you. Got it. Christ. See, what y'all don't know, For some of you people don't believe in Christ, Christ is all over the Bible. Because if you think about it, who is it talking about? Think about it. Who is it talking about? Christ is all over the Bible. Think about it for a second. You don't believe me? Give me Psalms, chapter 22, verse 16. Let me show you something. I asked you who that brother this. I said, man, who is this? You don't believe in Christ, right? Explain this to me. Psalms, chapter 22, verse 16.
Psalms chapter 22, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
For dogs have compassed me.
Matter of fact, you know what? Go start up for a second. Start up for a second. Because last I checked, Psalms is what testament is Psalms? Huh? It's Old Testament, right? Okay. Psalms chapter 22, verse 16. Matter of fact, I want you to know. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me see. Yeah. Go ahead. Verse 16. Go ahead, read on.
Psalms chapter 22, verse 16.
Go ahead,
For
brother.
dogs have compassed me, and the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet.
They pierced my hands and my feet. Who's speaking? David. Did this happen to David? Was his hands and was his feet pierced? I'll wait and see. Show me someone else in the Bible who this happened to. Will I read on?
Verse 17. I may tell all my bones. They look and stare upon me.
Go ahead.
They part my garments among them and cast lots upon my vesture.
They do what? They cast lots for my garment. This is a future tense. This is a prophecy. So what this also shows you about David? What does it show you about David, y'all? What does it show you about David? Let's see who's thinking. What does it show you about David? Who's thinking? What does it show you about David? What is he doing? What does it show you? What is he? See who's thinking. What does it show you about David? He's a prophet. Thank you. He's prophesying. He's prophesying about who? About Christ. It ain't him. This never happened to David. Okay? Why do you think David says, please take not your Holy Spirit from me? Why is he saying that? Just give us some thought, y'all. Think about it. Y'all think about it, okay? All right, so go back to I want Psalms chapter 76, verse 1. Yeah, thank you. See, he's a prophet. He shows you he's a prophet. And we're gonna solidify that with the scripture, okay? To show you that I'm not just saying that, I'm gonna prove it. But I want you to give me the book of Psalms, chapter 76, verse 1. That's what I want.
Psalms chapter 76, verse 1. In Judah is God known.
And what?
In Judah is God known.
And Judah is God known. Go ahead, read on.
His name is great in Israel.
His name is great in Israel. There's a reason for that. We just read some attributes and some prophecies of Judah, how his name is great in Israel. Go ahead, read on.
In Salem also is his tabernacle,
Mm-hmm.
and his dwelling place in Zion.
So Salem represents what? Peace. Shalom, right? Salem only means peace, right? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 3. There break he the arrows of the bow,
Mhm.
and the shield, and the sword,
Mhm.
and the battle.
Go
Selah.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. Thou art more glorious and excellent than the mountains of praise.
He's more excellent because excellency comes through Judah. So remember something. Who comes through Judah? It's showing you something. Okay, go ahead, read on.
Verse 5. The stout-hearted are spoiled.
Uh-huh.
They have slept their sleep.
Go ahead.
And none of the men of might have found their hands.
Go ahead.
At thy rebuke, O God of Jacob, both the chariot and horse are cast into a dead sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7. Thou, even thou, art to be feared, and who may stand in thy sight when once thou art angry?
Go ahead.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
Thou didst cause judgment to be heard from heaven. The earth feared, and was still.
So the earth feared and was still. Who comes through Judah? They're going to bring judgment. You should know this. Who's going to come through Judah is going to bring judgment? Go ahead, read on.
And when God arose to judgment to save all the meek of the earth, Selah.
Selah. So to save all the meek of the earth, Selah. To save all the meek of the earth, Selah. Give me the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 29. To save all the meek of what? All the meek of what? Of the earth, right? Matthew chapter 29 verse 24.
I mean 24 and 29?
I mean 24, 29, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Matthew.
Thank you.
You got it. Matthew chapter 24 verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven.
Go ahead.
And the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
So the powers of heaven should be shaken. It's let it be known that what's going to happen during World War III, the government is going to be destroyed. The powers that be shall be shaken. Thermal, nuclear destruction. Go ahead, read on.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
When you see the Son of Man with the chariots, with the chariots, with the chariots. Psalms chapter 68 verse 17. With the chariots. So remember something, when we go back to Psalms 76, it says, it's letting it be known, it says, when God arose to judgment to save all the meek of the earth. Okay? Now go ahead.
Psalm chapter 68 verse 17. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. And the Lord is among them, as in Sinai, and the holy place.
So now the host of, so when Christ come back with the clouds, is really talking about the chariots, okay? What we call UFOs. When he comes back, they're going to gather all, go back to where we're at in Matthew. Where you were at in Matthew, I want to prove the point about the chariots, though, but go back to Matthew 24 where you were at, about the Lord coming back. Because when Christ comes back, y'all don't think people understand what's coming to the earth. You know what's funny, too? I'm going to say this. No, I'll wait. I'm about to say something about this hurricane.
Might as well. Psalm chapter 20. What? Oh,
Matthew.
I am in Matthew. Matthew chapter 24, verse 30.
Go ahead.
Then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
So he's going to gather the elect. So remember, so he's going to gather. So when Christ cracked that sky, he's going to gather his elect. Who is the elect? You know what I want? Psalms chapter 45 verse 4. See, this is also how you prove Isaiah chapter 45 verse 4, I'm sorry. But this also shows you too, y'all, that the Lord is not coming back for everybody. You know, because everybody will say the Lord loves everybody. He come back to save his people, save everybody in Christianity. In Christian insanity, we're going to prove a point because precept must be upon precept. Isaiah chapter 45 verse 4.
Isaiah chapter 45 verse 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me.
So, what Christ is saying is he's going to gather the elect from the four winds of the earth. World War III, when it happened, that last Israelites being sealed, that's when he'll come and gather his people. From there, go back. I want you to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. You know, it's funny because I can recall years ago, I was speaking to one of the elders when I was coming up. And I asked him about the scripture, and he was telling me about it. He told me the prophecy that's been fulfilled right now. They're trying to fulfill this prophecy, these imposters over here. And this is what they use. This is the reason why they wear what they wear. This is the reason why they wear what they wear. And it makes sense. I said, you know what? It makes sense. The reason why the little hats wear what they wear. I want the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourning.
Judah mourning. You know we're in mourning. How we're in mourning? Because we're in captivity after captivity after captivity. Again, being shot down the streets, being mistreated. Go ahead, read on.
Judah mourning, and the gates thereof languish.
Go ahead.
They are black unto the
They
ground.
are what?
They are black unto the
They are
ground.
black into the ground. So that's why you see the so-called Jews wear the black. They wear the black because they trying to fulfill this prophecy. If you look at what they wear, they wear black because they're trying to fulfill that. But you can't fulfill when it says black into the ground. No means they clothes. Black into the ground. From there, give me Genesis, chapter 2, and verse 7. Make sure I got that scripture right. Genesis 2, I think it's verse 7, I think. If my memory served me correctly. Yeah, 7, I was right. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. I had to remember that one. Because it says black into the ground, right? So the true Jews of the Bible, and I'm just saying in this context, because right now you got Judites who we know they mix in, they're light skin. They don't have to be dark, but I'm just showing the majority at this time. But this is what they look like, okay? But this is what they were trying to fulfill, which you see today. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
Go ahead.
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul.
So when you dig in the ground, you should see as you get deeper and deeper, it's darker and darker. So you go back to Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2, is showing you what the Jews would look like. So when you see the so-called Jews, what you see there today, it's proven to you those aren't the real, and not just based on not based just on our sight. Okay, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying historically, that's the way we were before we were raped, before we mixed in. Okay, but you have some Judites today who may look like they could be they could be very light skinned, whatever, because they was mixed in. But you are the seed of your father. I'll make that clear. Okay, so the Jeremiah 14:2 again.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
Go ahead.
They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
The cry of Jerusalem is gone up. How much time do we have on it?
Hour and 24 minutes.
We've been going so far.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. That's all I want to know. Okay, give me Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. I'm gonna have to do speed burst now. I don't want to have everybody to enjoy themselves for the new moon. I'm gonna be very quick with this because I'm gonna skip some stuff. I might go over it again, but I'm just gonna skip it because I know for time's sake, everybody want to enjoy themselves for the new moon. I want that Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14.
Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14.
Go
For
ahead.
it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah,
Mm-hmm.
of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
So this also showing us Christ came out of the tribe of Judah. That's why it also says that the Lord should be known in Judah, because Christ came out of the tribe of Judah. I want Psalms chapter 132, verse 10 through 18 now. So it was a promise that was made. Because you look at the whole lineage of Judah, right? Look at the lineage of Judah. Great kings came out of Judah. We can keep on going with Judah. You know what I'm saying? Solomon, David, just to name a few. We had Daniel come through Judah. It's just so much stuff that came through. So many beautiful and so many great leaders came out of Judah. But that doesn't down to other tribes. The other tribes were important as well. But through Judah shall the Lord be known. Okay, so from there I want the book of Psalms, chapter 132, and I want verse 10. You got it?
Psalm chapter 132, verse 10. For thy servant David's sake, turn not away thy face of thine anointed. The Lord has sworn in truth unto David.
Go ahead.
He will not turn from it. Of the fruit of the body will I set upon thy throne. Verse 12. Thy children will keep my covenant and my testimony that I shall teach them.
Mhm.
Their children shall also sit upon thy throne forevermore. Verse 13, for the Lord has chosen Zion. He had desired it for his habitation.
What?
Verse 14,
Mhm.
this is my rest forever.
For how long?
Forever.
Forever. So when he gave the oath to King David about he would not cease from having a successor to his throne, he's showing you that is, you have to understand something. The Lord is not a man that he shall lie. He promised David that he would not cease to have a successor to his throne. But he did it with an oath, and we're going to go ahead, read on. Go ahead, read on.
This is my rest forever.
Mm-hmm.
Here will I dwell,
Mhm.
for I would have desired it. I will abundantly bless her
Mhm.
provision.
Mhm.
I will satisfy her poor with bread.
Mm.
I will also clothe her priests with salvation,
Mhm.
and her saints shall shout aloud for joy.
Her saints shall shout aloud for joy. You know, one thing about it, you have to know you're an Israelite is one thing. But to have an opportunity to get the kingdom, that's the most important thing you should shout for joy for. Because we look at it spiritually, I mean, we're fighting against a wicked society that's saying this is a cult. They saying that this isn't the truth. And we're fighting against it's a spiritual war. Right now we're fighting against it, so we have to keep strong in this truth because a lot of people are falling off. Go ahead, read on. You good?
Verse 16, verse 17.
Mhm.
There will I make the horn of David to bud.
Mm.
I have ordained a lamp for my anointed.
Mm.
His enemies will I clothe with shame,
Mhm.
but upon himself shall his crown flourish.
So upon himself shall his crown flourish. And what does it say? Shall do what?
His crown flourish.
Flourish. So what does that mean? Because Christ have to come through Judah. Go ahead, read on.
That's it.
What verse was that?
That was 18.
18, okay. From there, give me the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 29. I made a point a little bit earlier about David, about something about him. And I asked a question, what was he? And we'll prove the point. Acts chapter 2, verse 29. Because you know something, when you look at the lineage of Judah, yeah, you know, when you think about it, everybody wants to be Judah. Think about it. I mean, everyone, you know, I know brothers right now, you know, but really, all the 12 tribes are very important. Because you look at the 12 tribes, they're marked for glory. We're going to deal with that, okay? But book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 29.
Acts chapter 2, verse 29.
Go ahead, brother.
Men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you
Mhm.
of the patriarch David,
Mhm.
that he is both dead and buried,
Mhm.
and his sepulchre is with us unto this day.
Go ahead.
Therefore, being a prophet,
Being a what?
a prophet,
How do we prove that? We just showed he was prophesying about Christ. He was prophesying. So David being a prophet, he was prophesying about you know the coming of Christ. You know, throughout the Bible. So you look at him as a whole, he was always a prophet. Go ahead, read on.
therefore being a prophet, and knowing that God has sworn with an oath to him, that of the fruit of his loins,
Mhm.
according to the flesh,
Mhm.
he will raise up Christ to sit on his throne.
He will raise up Christ to sit on his throne. The fruit of his loins. What it also does, it shows you also that Christ didn't come with immaculate deception either. Because it was already prophesied that he would come through Judah and he come by sex. It was proven. The fruit of his what? The fruit of his loins. So it's showing you that basically that is being, you know, that's being crushed. And we dealt with that months ago with that whole virgin birth jump. People push that nonsense. Okay? And from there, I'm going to give you the book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 16. Because even when you look at it spiritually, right? This is what I always tell everybody. If you look at the tribe of Judah as a whole, right? Thy brethren shall praise. Thy brethren, Judah, thy brethren shall praise. Why? Because who comes through that tribe? That's the most important thing. Where you going?
You said Acts chapter 13, verse 16?
Yes, sir.
Acts 13 and 16.
Go ahead.
Then Paul stood up and beckoning with his hand said, Men of Israel,
Mhm.
and ye that fear God,
Go ahead.
give audience.
Uh-huh.
The God of this people of Israel chose our fathers,
Mhm.
and exalted the people when they dwelt as strangers in the land
Go ahead.
of Egypt.
Mhm.
And with an high arm brought he them out of it,
Mhm.
and brought and about the time of 40 years
Mm.
suffered he their manners in the
Right.
wilderness.
Uh-huh.
And when he had destroyed 7 nations
Mhm.
in the land of Canaan,
Mm.
he divided their land to them by lot.
By lots, because he started giving the land to the 12 tribes. You know, you have the brothers that had the heads of the tribes had their land, but the Levites didn't have land. Why? Because they were of the Lord's portion, and they had to perform what we know as the priesthood office. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 20. And after that he gave unto them judges about the space of 450 years,
Go ahead.
until Samuel the prophet.
Mm-hmm.
And afterward they desired a king,
Mhm.
and God gave unto them Saul, the
Mm.
son of Cis,
Mhm.
a man of the tribe of Benjamin,
Mhm.
by the space of 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had removed him, he raised up unto them David to be their king,
Mhm.
to whom also he gave testimony, and said, I have found David, the son of Jesse,
Mhm.
a man after my own heart.
Because we know Jesse, they called Jesse Bethlehem, Judah. Bethlehem, Judah. So then you be know also that Jesse was a Judite. If you go back in Jesse and do Jesse's lineage, they said Jesse was Bethlehem, Judah. He's a Bethlehemite, but he was also a Judite as well. Bethlehem, Judah. Go ahead, read on. Just to bring that point, I'll go ahead, read on.
Which shall fulfill all my will.
Mm-hmm.
Of this man's seed,
Of this man is what?
of his seed,
Go ahead.
hath God, according to his promise, raised unto Israel a Savior, Jesus.
So that also lets you know through the tribe of Judah, okay, the Lord promised David anyway. But of this man's seed, you have Christ, which comes through the tribe of Judah, which we know that's what it is. Because remember something, y'all, it was already prophesied. It was already prophesied in the beginning. Even during the time of Leah. Look at Leah. She was the most hated, but guess who came through her? Judah. Judah came through. Leah was the most hated. Think about that for a second. The most hated. She was hated between Rachel, but Judah came through her. Let that sink in for a minute. That's a beautiful thing. You know, that's a beautiful thing. So from there, I'm a speed burst. I'm just gonna skip it. Give me the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 11. I know everybody wants to feast tonight. I know it's a Friday night. I know everybody should get themselves together. You know, enjoy yourself for the feast. This is a new moon. I pray everybody's enjoying themselves, enjoying the If you're coming together, if you're alone, listen, you're not really alone. You have to hold it. You know, you have the Most High with you. I want to make sure everybody, enjoy. Listen, to tell you something, y'all. It's a blessing to even live to see these feast days. That's the most important thing. Okay. Revelation chapter 19, verse 11. Revelation
chapter 19, verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse,
Mhm.
and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True,
Mhm.
and in righteousness he doth judge and make war.
So in righteousness he doth judge and make war. This should give you a clue. When Christ cracked that sky, everybody, he isn't going to be passing out lollipops and playing hopscotch with you. Okay? He's not playing no doggone games. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 12.
Mhm.
His eyes was as a flame of fire,
Mhm.
and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself.
He had a name written what no man knew but he himself. That should tell you something. No one really has the name. Some brothers may say Yahweh Shai, Yeshua. We may say Jesus or the Christ or the Son of God. Whatever the case may be, he just has titles. No one really has the actual name. No one has that. People keep saying, there's nothing wrong with saying Yahweh. I see brothers say it all the time. I used to say it. But we understand it is actually just a title. That's all it really is. No man knew but he himself. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 13. And he was clothed with the vesture dipped in blood,
Uh-huh.
and his name is called the Word of God.
His name, that's another title. His name is called the Word of God. We hit this before. Go ahead, read on.
And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses,
Mhm.
clothed in fine linen, white and clean.
Mm-hmm.
and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with the rod of iron, and he treaded the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty God.
Because we read about the wine press back in Isaiah 63, but the wine press, who's really going to get the brunt of that? Edom. So that's why I see people think this is a hate campaign. It's a truth campaign. It's prophecy. That's why nobody really wants to be Edom. No, but they want to tell the Edom. They want to say the Edomites is the Arab man. Some of them are Edomites. Some of them are, but not all of them are. But remember something: the true Edomites is going to get hit. Nobody wants to be Edom because of this prophecy. They're going to definitely get hit. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 16.
Uh-huh.
And he hath on his vesture, on his thigh, a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun.
No, that's all I wanted.
Okay.
So when he had it on his thigh, dealing with more titles, King of Kings and Lords of Lords. So you look at Christ. Christ is the most important element of this because we know he comes through the tribe of Judah. Judah, very important. From there, stay in Revelation, chapter 5 and verse 1. He said, some say he didn't have a daddy. You better believe that in the worst way. You know what's crazy about that, y'all? You know what's funny? When you look at Christ, Christ himself says, I am of the root and offspring of David. So what blows my mind with these people with this whole virgin birth or immaculate deception, I love to call it, if Christ himself says he is of the root and offspring of David, who are you to argue with him? You can argue with the Lord? That doesn't even make sense. Why would you argue with the Most High? And also with Christ, because Christ telling who he came out of, the lineage he came out of. I want Revelation chapter 5 verse 1.
Revelation chapter 5 verse 1. And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within, and on the back side sealed with 7 seals.
7 seals. We're going to deal with that. We're going to deal with them 7 seals. Go ahead, read on.
And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and loose the 7 seals thereof. And no man in heaven, nor in earth, nor under the earth was able to open the book, neither to look thereon.
So no man was able to open the book. What book is this? Okay, go ahead, read on. What book is this? Read on.
Verse 4. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders said unto me, Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David.
The what of David?
The root of David.
Go ahead.
Have prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
So now let's look at Christ for a second. He prevailed to open up the book. Let me see who's thinking. What book is this? What book is this? Let's deal with the Watchman. Let's find out who is thinking. What book is this? Let's find out. Thank you. Michael has it. Life. Because you know something, when you look at it for what it is, y'all, when Christ opens up the book, you're going to get judged out of the book. That's when the books are open. You're going to get judged out of the Bible. You're going to get judged out of the laws, because the whole Bible is the law, and also the book of life. You're going to be judged. The books are going to be open. You're going to be judged, and Christ is going to be the judge as well. We all must appear before the judgment seat of Christ. We all must appear. That's why it's very important for us as believers to get ourselves right with the Most High through Christ. 2nd Ezra, chapter 11 and verse 36. 2nd Ezra, chapter 11, verse 36. That's what I want. Let's find out what this is.
2nd Ezra chapter 11 verse 36. Then I heard a voice which said unto me, Look before thee, and consider the thing that thou seest.
Mm-hmm.
And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the wood, and I saw that that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle, and said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee.
Who is the eagle? Let's see who's thinking. Who is the eagle? What's it talking about? Who's the eagle? Is it talking about? Because remember something, this is a prophecy. When you look at Second Esdras, y'all, Second Esdras, it really can go hand in hand with Revelation, right? Who is it with the eagle? Who is it talking about? Let's find out who's thinking on here. Exactly, America. Because when you look at America, what's the symbol of America? The eagle. It should. What nation is it? What nation does this symbolizes? What nation is this? It talks about. Because remember something. It's not just America either. We know right now it is. Okay, thank you, Esau. Because remember something. The eagle. France, eagle. Greek, eagle. America, eagle. Roman, eagle. Go ahead and read on.
Where was I? My mind somewhere else.
Okay, you okay? I want you to read. Start at verse 36 again, brother.
Second Esdras, chapter 11, verse 36. Then
Yes.
I heard a voice which said unto me, Look before thee, and consider the thing that thou seest. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the wood. And I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle,
Go
and
ahead.
said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, Art not thou it that remainest on of the four beasts whom I made to reign in the world, that the end of their times might come through them.
It's coming. The end of the times may come through them. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 40. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the world whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
With wicked oppression. Who's ruling the earth right now? Who is ruling the earth right now? What nation is ruling right now that we can think of? Think about it. We just talked about that particular nation. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 41. For the earth has thou not judged with truth.
Go ahead.
For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved the liars, and destroyed the dwelling of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm.
Because you see that today, that's happening. Even that prophecy is being played out as we speak with this nation. They're doing it. They hurt people with no harm. If you notice, when you look at, let's take. I'm gonna just use America for example. They'll go mess with these small countries that they know they can beat, but they won't mess with Russia. They'll leave. You know why? Because they know Russia has as much firepower as they have. They would never mess with Russia, but they'll mess with all these other little small nations, like they'll mess with Iran or whatever, because they know they can beat them. Like a big bully. A bully fights who you know he can beat. A bully will never go to another bully. I'm just using it as an example. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 43. Therefore is thy therefore is thy wrongful dealing come unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also had looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled.
Go ahead.
And therefore appeared no more thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body.
Because what you know is, when the so-called white man will be annihilated, the malicious heads, when you go back into Revelation about, the 7 heads and 10 horns, it coincides with that. But remember, these malicious heads that you see it today, what they're doing. Look at what's happening right now in prophecies. Look at who's responsible for all the different things in the world right now. This one nation is responsible for all this. You can see it through prophecies. If y'all can't see it spiritually, then listen, the Most High might have to show it to you. But you see what's going on. You see who's responsible for the nuclear bombs, who's responsible for what we know as the pollution of the world, who's responsible for all these things that bring death upon the world. This isn't a hate campaign, it's a truth campaign. Go ahead, read on. Go ahead.
Verse 45. And therefore know.
Verse 46.
46. That all the earth may be refreshed.
All the earth may be refreshed. May be refreshed. Go ahead, read on.
And may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her.
That made her. So at this point, you go to Obadiah, because I know Michael had the Obadiah. When you read that, the house of, let me say, Edom should be a stubble. I mean, I'm not going to hit it right now, but I'm going to have to speed burst y'all, because I have to, might do a second part to this. But I'm just have to go back over, I'm going to go back up second Ezra again. But you know something, y'all, is very important to understand. I'm using it as an example. Christ is going to be the one that brings this place down. And that's the most important thing that we must understand. But I said something about the burrow, right? I said something about the burrow, about the hurricane that's coming up. Give me, just to finish up, give me the book. I'm gonna finish up with this. Give me Daniel, chapter 10, verse 5 and 6. You know, you have the Hurricane Beryl going on right now, right? And it went through Jamaica. So I hope some of our brothers and sisters down there, I hope that the Most High is with them, because he's the one that brings destruction. Okay, but second, I want the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 5 and 6.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 5. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz.
So his loins his loins are girded with the fine what girdle of what?
Of Uphaz.
Uphaz, the best purest gold. So Daniel is seeing a vision. Go ahead, read on.
His body also was like the beryl.
Like the beryl. So remember I just said something about the beryl, about Hurricane Beryl coming up. It means beryl green. Okay, so y'all should know who this is. Go ahead, read on.
And his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color.
Go ahead, read on.
To polished brass.
To polished brass. So if y'all didn't know, this is Christ in the vision that Daniel was seeing in the vision. He has the beryl green on. Some brothers want to have the garments, but the beryl green with the golden girdle of Uphaz, which is the best purest gold. And they actually mock him by calling it Hurricane Beryl. You know, I mean that's what I'm thinking. It amazes me. Okay, from there, Daniel chapter 7 verse 9 through 18. We almost done. Daniel chapter 7 verse 9 through 18.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
Okay, he beheld till the thrones were cast down. Daniel seen the vision. The thrones are being cast down. This man's kingdom is about to come to an end. He's seeing it in a vision. Go ahead, read on.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
The Ancient of Days, if y'all didn't know, it's the Most High. Why? He has no beginning and no end. Go ahead, read on.
Whose garment was white as snow, and his hairs of his head like the pure wool.
Like the pure, so he had woolly hair as well. That's why you shouldn't be ashamed to have your woolly hair, people. Okay? It shouldn't be, because the Lord has woolly hair, therefore Christ has woolly hair. Go ahead, read on.
His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
Because the wheels, you had the chariots. You know, you see the chariots. So with Daniel is seeing a great vision, he's seeing chariots by the vision of the Most High. Go ahead, read on.
A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were open.
The books were open. The judgment was set, and the books were open for judgment. We read about the thousands in Psalm 68, verse 17. The thousands of chariots are coming. And I understand some of y'all, when Christ cracked that sky, when the last trump happens, it's going to be so many chariots, it's going to block out the sun. That's why he said there's going to be thousands upon thousands of chariots. Judgment really is coming to this place, y'all. I hope y'all understand we have to get ourselves right, y'all. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 11. I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even until the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame.
Because when the thermonuclear destruction happened, this place shall be destroyed. The beast. Okay, the beast shall be destroyed. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 12. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time. And I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like unto the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven.
So here we go again, like in Psalm 68 verse 17, with the clouds of chariots. When Christ cracked that sky, it's coming with the chariots we'll call UFOs. Go ahead, read on.
And came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. Verse 14. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people.
Because remember something, the scepter shall not depart from Judah. When you read it back in Psalms 49, the rulership shall not depart from Judah. It says dominion was given to who?
To all people, nations, and languages shall serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
Shall never be destroyed. What verse was that?
14.
I want go all the way to verse 18.
I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit.
Why was Daniel grieved? Because Daniel saw something that he was like, wait, because you remember something, when Daniel saw this vision, he saw destruction too. So he was grieved when he saw this. Same with Habakkuk said. Habakkuk said, listen, I want to be pretty much dead, basically. I don't want to be on this planet when Christ cracked that sky. That's what he's basically saying, because you look at Daniel. Daniel was grieved when he saw this great vision. Go ahead, read on.
I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by and asked him the truth of all this.
Go ahead.
So he told me and made me know the interpretation of the things. These great beasts which are four kings which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
Yo, we're gonna ask for it.
Shall take the kingdom.
Should take the kingdom. Should take the kingdom. Was that it?
And possess the kingdom forever.
How long?
Forever. Even forever and ever. I was 18.
That's it. So at some point, when Christ cracked that sky, everybody, through Judah, it says, Judah thy brethren shall praise. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 21. I'm gonna just cut it short. I had some more I was gonna touch. I might do a part 2 of this class. But for the new moon's sake, y'all, I want y'all to enjoy yourselves, enjoy the feast, everybody. I'm just gonna cut it short. Give me the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 21.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 21. For even hereunto were you called.
You were called. There's no coincidence that you're supposed to be on this class. Enjoy the new moon, everybody. I pray everybody's safe. Okay, enjoy yourselves. Okay, you were called to this marvelous work. Go ahead, read on.
Because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example.
Because Christ is our example. Go ahead, read on.
That ye shall follow his steps.
We follow Christ as the Bible is written. Go ahead, read on.
Who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth.
Go ahead.
Who, when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not.
Go ahead.
But committed himself to him that judgeth righteously.
The omnipotent one. The Father of spirits, the God of Israel. That's who he committed himself to. The book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29.
The book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
We ought to obey God rather than men. Listen, y'all. It's been a pleasure to share this word with y'all on the Lord's new moon. We give the Most High Christ all the praise and glory for giving us the privilege to share this word with y'all. We pray y'all was edified tonight. We pray y'all enjoyed the class. Hopefully you have understanding, everybody. And listen, it's beautiful to share this word. I want y'all to enjoy the new moon because Israel will all we got. I also want to give a shout out to other elders, the bishops, the other organizations out there pushing the truth, everybody. The elders, the bishops, the deacons, the priests, the women out there doing the great works. Keep up the great work. Every Israel, we all we got. Keep pushing this truth to the apocalypse. Why? Because I want to get the heck out of here. I want to get the kingdom, okay? I want this place to be done with. Let's get the chariots. Let's go home, Israel. Let's go home, okay? Have the true feast of the Lord, okay? Like I said before, so send up your arms there. Please send your arms up to help us build the nation. It's very appreciative. We're very appreciative of the donations. Thank you very much for helping us out to help us build the nation. You know, that's the most beautiful thing. Come join the force. Come join the family. Come join us. Help us build. Because guess what, y'all? The harvest is great, the labors are few. It's beautiful. Like I said before, enjoy these feast days, everybody. Enjoy the new moon. Once again, y'all, I'm Brother Raphael to my right.
Brother
So
Benaniah.
next time, let's say
Shalom.
Chapter 11 verse 1. I say then, hath God cast away his people?
Has God cast away his people? You so-called blacks and Hispanics? The Israelites? Have God cast away his people? Read!
God forbid!
Meaning no. God has not cast away the Israelites. Read!
For I also am an Israelite.
Paul said, I also am an Israelite. That's the New Testament. Read!
Of the seed of Abraham.